All right. You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about mental health and, frankly, the absolute bullshit surrounding that stuff. Right? Us men never talk about our mental health. Fine, it's true that we don't, because there isn't any real space to do that, and I don't think there should be a space for that to go down. I am sick to death. This is going to rub some people the wrong way, but I am sick to death of the mental health talk. When you're fat and out of shape, what do you say? Like, eat better and start working out, or shut up about it. If mental health is as real as physical problems, then sort your shit out, man. And I realize it's kind of like telling a woman not to be stressed, but whatever is causing your, mental consternation, whatever is upsetting you, like, deal with it. Are you not? I don't know. There's that commercial that everybody's posted or liked or seen. The soccer fans, where the one guy's sort of melancholy, and the other guy's all like, "Woohoo, yay!" And he's the guy that, self-deletes himself. How in the hell are you supposed to, like? Okay. What am I supposed to do about that? Am I supposed to go up to every dude and say, "Hey, are you doing okay?" What's the answer gonna be? I'm doing fine. Great. If you need something, let me know. I've seen thousands of posts. I've never said it, but if you need somebody to talk to, then phone me up and we can chat about your life and your problems. Life is full. As you guys know, it's full of problems. It's all it is tragedies and traumas and how we deal with it. And if you need to work on your tools, your skill set to deal with your mental anguish, then please seek the help of a professional and quit using it as some weird, I don't know what, crutch, some excuse, some way to get out of the responsibilities that you have. I'm sorry that you married a bitch. I'm sorry. It sucks. Is that tough to say? I'm sorry your wife doesn't love you anymore. I'm sorry that your job isn't as fulfilling as you want it to be. I'm sorry that your kids' lives are stressful, or that they add stress to your lives. Everything I'm telling you, I've sort of experienced at one time or another. And you just get to sort yourself out. You can sort yourself out. There are tools and options to sort yourself out. Sitting at home and feeling sorry for yourself is not an answer. And as everybody knows, it just adds to the problem. So if you have those sort of tendencies or proclivities that you struggle with your mental health or your mental well-being, then find some friends, find some people that have mutual interests. Join a Dungeons and Dragons club, join a badminton club, join a health club. And if you can't afford any of that stuff, I can't imagine that Dungeons and Dragons is very expensive. You must have some things that interest you outside of the realm of work. And that's what would be my suggestion. Find something that is totally removed from your work and invest some time in it. And if you are busy with home life and kids and a job, then dude, I'm sorry. That's what you're in for the next foreseeable future. What is that? 15, 20 years? I don't know. My oldest is 30 and my youngest is 16. So, I have been dealing with kids for 30 years. I have, been dealing with teenagers for, 18 of those years. I'm here to tell you, it is not an easy path at all. But the amount of whining and sniveling I see on this stuff everywhere it just makes me bonkers. It truly makes. I'm like, what are we supposed to do about it? Are we just supposed to all listen to everybody whine? And just going back to that commercial of that soccer guy, like what am I supposed to do about that dude? He's obviously happy and engaged and enjoying whatever, but there's something else going on in his life that he's decided that it's not worth the energy or the time or what. I don't know. And so, I don't know what the message of that is. Are we just supposed to be overly concerned about everybody and wonder how they're doing? Or are we just supposed to check in like adults and say, man, you doing good? And we've all seen the other side. Yeah, I'm fine, which means everything's going wrong in your life. And I agree with that. But nobody's going to solve your problems. We can certainly, as I've said, be sympathetic and empathetic to what's going on. But, bro, at the end of the day, you got to sort your own shit out. And if that means you need to hire a professional, then hire a professional. And I know for a fact, particularly here in Canada, there's lots of quote-unquote support programs to help you do that. I do not think talking about it sort of incessantly within these groups is helpful. I think it actually exaggerates the problem, because you're like, oh, everybody's got mental health issues, so I'm not alone. And it's okay just to sort of wallow in that pity. And I've certainly had my, share of ups and downs in life. And the details of those are not insignificant to me, but they mean nothing to you. I mean, if I showed up here and just sort of poured my soul out all over this thing, can you just imagine both the people that would support that and the people that would make fun of that? I mean, I suspect it would be equal. And it does make me laugh. It does make me laugh out loud. You can go to any woman's post about just about anything, particularly when it comes to misogyny or whatever the case may be, and you'll have 55 dudes that are like, this shouldn't happen. I'm here for you. Are you there for you, or do you just want to see your boobs? It's hard to say. But what do you mean you're there for me? Call me anytime and we can talk about your feelings. What do you know about it? What training do you have? Like, none. So maybe, refer them to an actual professional to get themselves sorted out. I do think that we play this victim mentality for just all it's worth. I remember a dude that was saying that he was at some trade show, and I can't remember who it was, but it's irrelevant. And he was taking some pictures of what, the products. And the guy came out and said, what are you doing? Are you an actual tradesman, or are you one of my competitors? You can't take pictures here. And this dude took it as racist. How is that racism? That you're, taking pictures of products, and the dude is trying to protect his own brand. Say, what are you doing? Why are you taking pictures of this stuff? What is your purpose behind this? You've worked really hard to build this brand, and you're just going to come scoop it and, ask some definitive questions of what his intent was and where he was going with it. And again, there was like 100 comments. Oh, this shouldn't happen anymore. What shouldn't happen anymore? People shouldn't defend their own product lines, their own brands, their own businesses. Even if you do so, it's racism. Man, I think we're just reaching way beyond the mark to try and drum up sympathy for stuff that is irrelevant. Like, stop being an ass. Maybe ask permission to, sort of show up on some trade dude's display and say, hey, can I take some pictures of this stuff? Is that not common courtesy? I mean, I don't know. He must have a website. You can't go to his website, check out all this shit. Anyway, it drives me crazy. And I do think sort of, I'm not saying that we shouldn't talk about it. I'm just saying that you should, like, there are direct paths to help and assistance for those things. So coming on these platforms and sort of, like I say, whining and sniveling about it is not helpful. It gets you your clicks and likes and comments, but and is that what you're looking for? Some dopamine hit, which will only exacerbate the problem, is what it does. You're like, oh, I can talk about how much my life sucks and the problems that I have, and that gets me the dopamine hit that I want. Oh, there we go. Off to the races. Everybody loves me. I gain followers, all the rest of that crap. I think it's terrible. I do think it's terrible. And I think that we need to be careful with sort of what sort of structures we buy into to validate our feelings. I don't think... I'm running out of time. I'm going to have to split this into two, because for some reason, if I go over like 12 minutes, Instagram doesn't like it. Probably because I say some bad things. But I don't think it's helpful to sort of validate those feelings in the public sphere. You got personal problems, you should deal with them personally and with a professional. And work those things out internally. I do not think the public arena is the place to sort of expose some of your deepest flaws. I just don't. And we all have them. And, that's coming from me that sort of shoots his mouth off at every opportunity. But I'm not asking for pity. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for you to validate what I say. Most of you guys don't. Because as I've said before, this is not a very big space. I've heard from people that have gone to these trade shows that somehow I'm the topic of conversation, and they're like, you know what? I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but I'm glad he's saying it, which is fine. I'm not here for you guys to go, I agree. Some of you do, some of you don't. It's just a conversation starter for you guys to think about what I say and how I say it sort of fits into your life, or maybe it doesn't fit into your life at all. As some of you have said, maybe I'm just a bigoted bastard with outdated ideas. Maybe. I am older than most of you, so you can just chalk it up to me being a crotchety old man that doesn't understand the world today, which I will absolutely disagree with, because I am invested in the world today because my children are in this world today. So I take those sort of situations seriously and try to figure out how to maneuver them for myself and for my children so that I can be a resource to them. And frankly, to you if you need it. But, if somebody reached out to me today and said, what do I do about my mental health? I'm like, you should seek the help of a professional. Someone that's qualified, someone that you trust. Not a family member particularly, but a professional that you think has the stones, the credentials to give you the advice that you need and steer you in the right direction. And, whatever, sort of monetary value is attached to that is, I think that's worth it. I think you should dig into that. I think you should fix those problems. I think, just in summary, I do think that exposing those issues here in this public sphere only re-emphasizes those feelings. Oh, I feel bad, I feel oppressed, I feel this, I feel that. You're exposing your personal stuff and you're getting people to comment on it, so it makes you feel good to expose your problems, which makes you think about those problems even more, in my mind, as opposed to how do I deal with this and eliminate those negative forces in my life or negative ideas and become more productive, more effective, and more efficient in what I do. As usual, my thoughts, not yours. Good luck with your mental health. I wish you all luck in the world, and if you're truly struggling with that stuff, you should seek the help of those that are trained to help you with that stuff, or people that you truly trust. And as you know, this arena is full of all kinds of people with all kinds of opinions, and don't necessarily have your best intentions at heart, or their intentions aren't in your best interest, I think is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, my thoughts, not yours. Let's continue the discussion in the comments and tell me how much of an asshole I am. It's fine. I can handle it.